Welcome to the Innovators Club for Women webinar channel, where innovation meets inspiration. I am the CEO and founder, Katie Cupstas. Welcome to Mastering the Art of the Investor Pitch webinar. We're thrilled that you're here, and I know and I hope that you'll take away some great tips and tricks from this webinar and implement it into your own business. Welcome, I'm Katie Cupstas. I am the CEO and founder of Innovators Club for Women. We are a nonprofit. We are here to support women innovators and anyone on a gender journey. So welcome. Why? Why is one of the earliest questions in your investor pitch or in your pitch deck. So this would be the hook. Explain why your product is different, why it's special, and why investors should really be investing in you. This is your opportunity to really let them know the problem that your product solves and why you are better than the rest. The pain. So this is the slide where you are going to really describe the problem that your product solves. What are the pain points that that you realized and that you came to realize in solving this problem? And your product should solve those problems. Is it similar to something out there? Is it better than something out there? If it is, that's actually a really great thing. If it's not super novel, because there's already an audience, there's already people out there that want to buy this product. And if it's similar to something out there, and it's just solving a problem that whatever existing product is out there is solving even better, then you are definitely going to get the eyes and ears of the investors. What is your vision? So what's the big picture? Investors want to see the why behind your business. They really want to know what your vision is for the future and really seeing it through your eyes. So this is your opportunity to talk to them briefly, concisely, and let them know exactly what you're thinking for the future. This is really going to include numbers. You're going to want to do your research and make sure that you are set up for long-term goals. So, tie your vision to real world change, trends, whatever the consumer behaviors or industry gaps. Is there a technology shift enabling this? Are there economic, maybe cultural or demographic trends driving demand? What customer pain points are going unaddressed? So this is just an example. We're at a tipping point. This is just an example of a product that we are all currently working on, where AI is taking over in a good way. I know it can be a scary thing, but how can that get implemented into your product one way or another, whether it be within your website, whether it be within the product itself, if you don't necessarily have a tech product, that should also be part of your vision. So do you have AI implemented into your website? Do you have bots there ready to answer questions for people? That should all be part of your vision and really long-term vision to explain to your investors. The research. So speaking of AI, research is actually getting a little bit easier because of AI. And this is a great opportunity to take advantage of the AI landscape for your for your pitch deck and for your audience, and your audience in this case being the investors. So really, you can tailor it specifically to the investor that you may be pitching to. So this is a great opportunity to do the research, find out who you're pitching to, maybe go back to their LinkedIn profiles, put that in ChatGPT, see exactly what they're looking for, what their likes, their dislikes may be, and then you can actually tailor your pitch specifically to each and every investor. If you're working with if you're pitching for a group of investors, maybe you want to just add a couple of tidbits in for each investor that you're pitching to at that time. If it's a pitch competition or something along those lines, find out ahead of time who you're pitching to and do the research and use AI to help you with that. There is another really great app. I don't even know that it's an app yet. I believe it's a website that I was just made aware of this week, and it is called Wave. This is an opportunity to get in front of virtual Silicon Valley investors and get your pitch deck reviewed. So this is an incredible opportunity for every innovator out there. Something that's really new and fresh and just different ways of using AI that the majority of us have not heard about before. And when it comes to your edge, so this is what's really going to set you apart from other innovators that are not as prepared as maybe you are. So if you have a product, you are going to want to make sure that you have filed a C Corp. A C Corp is really what investors are looking for when they are going to invest in a product company. You also want to make sure that you have a patent, trademark, or copyright, whatever may pertain to your business product idea. So a patent, we've spoken about this in the past. A patent is anything that has functionality, and a trademark would have to do with whatever words or logos are involved. So I highly recommend a trademark always. A patent is something that you may or may not qualify for, but if your product has functionality, if it is an app, it has functionality. So you could definitely get a patent on an app or an application, in case you're wondering. And a copyright would pertain to music, books, writing, pictures, anything like that. So when you have a competitive edge like this, when your portfolio is set up properly with a C Corp entity, with a patent or a trademark or a combination of multiple things, you are definitely going to pique the interest of the investors, because they now know that you have set yourself up for success and that you've already invested in yourself. The majority of these investors do not necessarily want to invest in you unless they know that that you have invested in yourself first. Revenue. Investors want to know how you plan to monetize your product, how you plan to make money, how you will scale, and how profitable it can be. So there's a few things that go into this. One would be your BOM, and that stands for Bill of Materials. So how much does the product cost to make? Really, you want to go by the 1/5 rule, and that would mean that your product, the cost for manufacturing, marketing, all those things will be 1/5 of whatever the retail value is. So if it costs $20 to make, that product would then retail for $100. So this is something that really needs to be considered before you decide to move forward with getting money. It's something that is so often overlooked, but investors want to know that they're not investing in a company that's going to fall flat because they're going to go bankrupt very quickly. They want to make sure that the product itself is inexpensive enough to make to turn around and sell for a higher price, because there's a lot of costs involved in between. There's a middleman cost if you're going into retail, a lot of different costs involved. So revenue and how you're going to make money is something investors definitely want to see. Your team. Your team is incredibly important. And the stronger team you have, the more important it is. So right now, there's been a lot of talk about these fractional, C-suite executives. I offer services as a fractional CIO. That means that I am a fractional chief innovative officer, where I will step in and act as such during a certain amount of time for a company. And yes, I do get paid to do that. Someone may step in as a fractional chief financial officer, or even executive, a CEO. And really, all of those people can get put on your team. The more professionals that have had experience within your industry, the more likely you are to get funded. So if you have an engineer that you've paid that is willing to be put on your team on the pitch deck, it's always something you want to ask ahead of time. You want to talk to these people. You never want to just do something without people's permission. But it is something that's really important, because showcasing your team is going to show the investors that you mean business, that you are actually an expert in your field. And even if you are not an expert in your field, you have found people that are experts in your field. So this is where the team is really incredibly important for the fundraising piece. And the invest. So investors need to know, they really want to know what the potential return is going to be. So this is where the revenue piece really is important. The bill of materials, the total addressable market, which is also known as TAM, TAM, and really just making sure that you have done your due diligence and you're not just showing up with an idea and a prototype and a couple of pictures. Even if it seems like you've done the research, unless you have really spoken to people, you've gotten feedback, you've spoken to manufacturers, that means you've done your due diligence and you've done your research. So there's a lot that goes into the research piece. I only really touched on a few of those things, but when it comes to investors investing in your product, they're going to want to see that. So feedback is something else that we work on here at ICW with our members. So feedback would be just basically that. So reaching out to consumers or potential consumers for your market, asking them questions, maybe sending them a Google form, and asking them specific questions regarding your product and getting feedback that way. And then having that feedback go into a Google Sheet that can then be shared with investors. These are really important pieces to this puzzle, because if you show up with potential customers already, then investors are going to automatically say, most likely, nothing is a sure thing, but most likely they're going to say, oh my goodness, well, they already have potential customers here. They have it all organized. It's in a Google Sheet. They sent around this form for feedback, and this is the audience that they're going to be selling to. So that is going to make it much more likely for investors to invest. So really, they just want to know that that their money they're going to get back at some point. And they're also going to want to know if you have some sort of an exit strategy. An exit strategy means that you're not doing this for the next 50 years or whatever it may be. They want to know that you have it in your head that you're going to do this for 10 years and then you're going to sell and move on. And that's how they make their money. They make their money when there's a sale. So a lot of people have heard the word acquisition, and that's what that would be. So an acquisition, a merger and acquisition. So if a larger company comes in, say there's a shoelace company, right? That's specifically for sneakers. And Nike comes in and says, well, we want to buy up that company. We see that they're sort of infringing on our market and they really are sort of starting to take some of our customers away. We're just going to buy them up. And, companies that go in with that mindset where that's their goal already end up being more successful. They're more likely to get funded early on. If you have a company in mind already that you're looking to be a competitor with, that you're doing it better, it's a perfect situation. So with the goal in mind of them buying you for a certain dollar amount, there you go. So that's what investors want to see. They want to see that you're going in with a strategy. They want to see that you're going in with a plan. They want to know that you have built the foundation with the right intellectual property, with the right business entities. Again, if you have a product, a C Corp, we're in Philadelphia, right outside Philadelphia, and Delaware is a very popular place for people to file their business entities. If anyone needs an attorney for that, I do have contacts for that. Happy to share them. But yes, you are more likely to get investment when you have all of your ducks in a row, so to speak, and you have all of your bricks of the foundation laid. They want to know that you've invested in yourself before they invest in you. And I want to thank all of you for coming today, to whether you're watching this on a replay or whether you're here with us live. I want to thank you again, and hopefully you can take this away and find this very helpful, or take some bites of the different AI pieces that I introduced today. Every week, every time I do a webinar, I'm going to try to introduce a new AI app or website that's going to help your business. That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. I'm so passionate about helping women and the underserved communities and the innovation space. And I hope you'll join us again in a couple of weeks for our next webinar. For more information and to watch our webinars in full, visit our website, innovatorsclubforwomen.org, and join as a member to build your startup for full success.